everybody.
Good morning.
Isn't that delightful?
Yes.
Truly, truly, truly. I can remember a time when first thing I got up in the morning, I reached over and I took out a cigarette, I lit up, and there were Marlboros, by the way, because I was a Marlboro man. And then once I got that going, I could feel that settling in my system. Then I reached over and I grabbed my little granddad and I poured myself a nice stiff drink. And I got ready to meet the day. Then perhaps I would, or maybe I wouldn't, I'd get cleaned up and grab my books and I'd be on my way to school. If you think I'm kidding, I'm not. You see, we all have habits that we carry about that cause us to think that we're living. But are we really living life? Or are we on autopilot? It took me a while to get to the place to where I started considering the possibility, just the possibility now. Don't want to commit myself too far, but the possibility of making changes. And I thought, if I'm going to make a change, then I might want to make a change for the better. Now, I wasn't exactly from that description chasing rainbows, but I was sure running. And then I was caused to see, maybe I had the need to take a hard look at my life, see what was going on. Sometimes it is that it isn't until we can accept the harsh realities of life that we can make a change for the better. And we can make better versions of ourselves. Sometimes we need a reality check in order for that to happen. Now, I realize that I'm probably speaking to an advanced group of beings here that I'm really talking down to. So please forgive me. But there's also thousands upon thousands who have the opportunity to hear this, to watch this, and to consider in themselves, does this resonate with me, with who I am and where I am in my life right now? So, all of us know that we have to stop sometimes and ask tough questions so that we can get to the heart of what is causing us our grief in our lives. And you see, once it is that we face this, then we can become stronger. So, here's a few considerations that we have to make. You can't go back. I've met so many people, I've been there so many times myself, who lived in the past. Close that door. Don't let the cold air in. I learned that years ago. Many people spend their waking hours living in the past, wishing for do-overs, a chance to make things right again, or maybe just different. We wallow in our sorrow, and we worry about things we said or did to ourselves, or that others said or did to us. We stay stuck in the past. And the fact of the matter is, none of that matters anymore. It's done. It's over with. We've lived it. No matter how hard or many times we attempt to, we cannot live it over again, make it better, make it different, whatever. When you can come to terms with your past, you can start living for the present, and perhaps then make better plans for the future instead of having your future look just like your past. Learn from the past, then move on. Hey, if you need help because of trauma, get it. If it's professional help, it's okay. We're all nutcases. Get the help you need. Or if you need to turn into a connection with your inner child, do it. Make that connection. But remember this, it's not going to change the past, but it may change your perception of it. So you can't go back. I have, in my counseling career, had many opportunities to meet with people and share this with them in 1,000 different varieties, and some of them just would not accept that, refused to let go of their identification with the past, and then wondered why they still stayed miserable. I'm busy. Are you busy? I stay busy. I'm busy, busy, busy. Aren't you busy? What? Busy is just a way of life, right? By the way, busy does not equate to productivity. We're all busy. There. Now, get over yourself. Hey, do some actual work. Get some done. See, this is one of those things that people don't want to face, because if they face it, then they're going to have to look at themselves and see that their busyness may really be just a form of escapism. Pretending to be busy is not the same as actually being productive. By the way, we're all pretty much responsible for our misfortunes. And our lives are exactly the way we choose them to be. So if you want a different life, start choosing different things. Notice that word I put in there? Choose, choose, choose. That's it. That's it right there in a nutshell. We are choosers. And by the way, you do actually have the time. I mean, I stay so busy, I just don't have time. Don't you? I just don't have time. But amazingly enough, everyone is allotted the same 24 hours a day. And isn't it amazing how some people just get so much more done in that 24-hour period? And I used to wonder the same thing. And then it started dawning on me, well, maybe if I got up before 10 o'clock in the morning, my day wouldn't be half gone. But you see, that takes a different frame of reference to come to the realization you do have time. And by the way, you have time for anything, even the things you say you don't have time for. Here's a little side of that. It has to do with having enough. You know what I'm saying? Having enough is the same thing as time. Time of value. Enough of value. Money of value. Many people say, you know, Reverend Carraway, I'll be so happy when I have enough so I can give to your church. Just wait until I hit the lotto. You're going to be the first one on the list. I have long ago kept a smile on my face and turned a deaf ear to that, because I know that's nonsense. And I really would be there, Reverend Carraway, if I just only had the time. And the fact is, we always show up for what we want to show up. And we are always with who we want to be with, because we really want to be with them. Anything else is just an excuse. And you see, this is one of those in-your-face, hard realities of life. Sometimes it is, we say we're all alone, we don't have any friends, and we don't understand how they could be. And because of the fact we're not really on friendly terms with ourselves. We start being a friend to ourselves, we start being a friend to others, and that changes amazingly. And, you know, every time you make an excuse that you can't do it, there's a little part of you that dies. And while we're on the subject of death, tomorrow morning you could wake up dead. And how would that feel? I know I'm saying something, but my body's not moving. What's happening? You see, the point is, we only have a certain amount of time on the earth plane. But that is enough time if we start making good use of our time now, and we do the things that make us feel good about us being us. So that's really a wholehearted encouragement from me to you, because I extend it to myself too. When I catch this now, when I hear that voice speaking in my head, I know I'm the only one who does. So I'm the only one who's crazy. But I hear that voice, and I have sometimes to reckon with it. I have to let it know, no, what you're saying is not true. I am the one who is the authority in my life. And by my own authority, I choose to love me. I choose to love my body. I choose to love my life. I choose to be purposefully intent on living my life with as much fun as possible. And you know what happens? The voice shuts up. It may pick up later on. It's one of those things that, don't count on it going away for too long. It's like skin. You may shed a little, but you get more to take its place. So it's one of those things that you look and you see, make good use of your time. And so far as saying, life has to be for me the way I want it to be, forget it. Because what you're saying is, it's got to be perfect. And life, some people say life isn't perfect. Others say life is perfect. Some say life is perfectly imperfect. Others say life is imperfectly perfect. So whatever choice you make, get a handle on it. Life is. Okay? And it's in a variety of ways. Life is. So what are you going to do so far as your relationship to life? What kind of a partnership are you going to have? If you open yourself up, then you can begin to experience more and more the fact that life is beautiful. But rather than to look for the future, start being happy with life right now. And something that can help you so much with this is the attitude of gratitude. It can do wonders for your life. It can do wonders for your happiness. If you choose to be grateful, you're filling yourself with that kind of energy, and it positively affects your health. It affects your well-being. It can even affect the clarity of your mind. Not guaranteed, but it can. It can work that way. It really can. So open yourself up and do the things you love. Do the things you love. You might say, well, Reverend Carraway, that's not a harsh reality. Well, for someone who's caught up in hate, it's a radical change. For someone who's caught up in animosity, guilt, grief, it is a radical change. And you see, that can be part of it, that you see, if I allow myself to step out of who I believe myself to be and open up to live more of what makes me feel good about me being me, I'm going to be experiencing love in that measure of my experience. So, do the things you love. Hey, after all, enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. Life is short. It is. There's no doubt about it. I mean, we live it from day to day, moment to moment, and we forget to see the fact that we have lived, and we won't be able to live that again. There's only the rest of it. So, finally, get to a place where you're in a really good relationship with you, to where you can depend on you, to where you can open up and say, all right, up to now, I've been saying it's your responsibility to make me happy. And now I'm going to switch that around and see it's my responsibility. And that is my ability to respond. I'll choose to respond by doing the things I love. I'll choose to respond by having a really wholesome, healthy attitude about me being me. And I'll find that in the process, it becomes unnatural for me to rely on myself because I show myself reliable. So thank you very much for your attention, and may this in some way translate into you feeling good about you being you. Thank you. For more information about the Metaphysical Church of Enlightenment or the Rodin Foundation, please go to our website at www.rodin.org. If you have been inspired by the revelations shared in these podcasts, please donate to the Rodin Foundation's ongoing efforts to help others help themselves at www.rodin.org/donate.